Right. In 2015, the Hawke's Bay region voted against merging its 5 regional councils into some kind of super region. They looked at Auckland and said, no thanks, that's not us. Is it time to reopen negotiations when they've probably been finalised for good anyway? We're joined by author of 3 bestsellers and a blog with over 30,000 readers, with over 60 American television appearances. We're excited to be joined by celebrity futurist Joyce Gioia. And Joyce hit us up in the tent yesterday, where we are right now. She came at me and she said, you need me on your show. And I said, convince me. Well, half an hour later, I was convinced, okay? And she joins us now. Hello, Joyce. Nice to have you on the program.
Dr. Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory is not afraid of technology. Yes. He embraces it. You know, Business Insider tells us that by the year 2025, 30% of our jobs will be done by robots. So we need to make sure that we pay attention to the 3 mistakes to avoid to make sure that we can keep our jobs.
Okay, so this is good. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about, well, because you're a futurist.
Yes.
Okay, so you're a celebrity futurist out of America. So we will talk about the future very shortly, so you'll know where you're heading today and tomorrow and the next day. But first of all, 3 things we can avoid not to lose our jobs.
Yes.
Okay, number 1.
The first mistake to avoid is stay on top of technology. And that doesn't mean the very sophisticated IT stuff. That means just Windows. Make sure that you're up to date with your Windows. The second mistake to avoid is letting the world pass you by. Now, when I spoke in Singapore, there was a fellow in my audience who came up to me and said, I'm upset. The MBAs are coming into our company and they're taking all the executive jobs. And I said to him, do you have an MBA? And he said, no. And I said, why don't you go get one? Well, I shouldn't have to. Excuse me, sir. The world is not always fair.
So keep up.
You have to keep up. You can't let the world pass you by. The third mistake to avoid is not staying in touch with your network. And when we just talk with our network, when we need them, sometimes they may not be available to us. So make sure that you nurture that network.
So be friends with people you may not want to be friends with.
Well, I don't know about that you have to do that, but certainly you want to make sure that the people who can help you grow and help you proceed in your career are people that you keep in touch with on a regular basis.
Network, Mark. This is a good lesson for you.
Yeah, so don't be like me, an old stick in the mud, basically.
Yes, you want to make sure that I have a save way that people can make sure that they keep their jobs. S is for stay on top of the trends. Stay on top of your technology as well. Make sure that you are, if you are someone who uses Excel, make sure that you know what the Excel spreadsheet latest thing is. Make sure that you keep on top of the latest versions of the technology that you're using in your job.
And then you won't say, oh, what's the world come to these days? Well, the world's moved on a few hours ago, if not days, if not years. Okay, so you are here as a TEDx speaker. You're here because you're such a good speaker on all sorts of things.
Well,
one of them is amalgamations in cities.
Yes.
Do you see a future? So people are on the edge of their seats in Napier, Hastings.
Yes.
Do you see a future for Napier and Hastings to become one city, if you like, governed by one mayor, one council? Do you see this in the future?
In the very long-term future, but it may not happen in our lifetimes. So here's Napier and here's Hastings.
21 k's apart on a map.
21 k apart. Not so bad. We're going to see a lot of development between those cities, and once that happens, then we're going to see more development. But I think that if the 2 cities can just be smart about it, they can just S, look at the similarities. M, make it a priority to honor the differences, the cultural differences between the Maoris and other cultures. A, acknowledge the opportunity that cooperation can offer. The mayor, as he was leaving, told me they're already meeting about water and energy. Recognize the gifts that both of these cities bring to the table. And speaking of gifts, I brought you some.
Oh, well, we like gifts, don't we?
So La Petite and Lexi Liu were both sponsors for TEDx Hastings,
yes,
which is how I come to be here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And this is from Hastings. It's La Petite, wonderful chocolate.
Right, so you've bought one of those for me. Thank you very much. I've got the chocolate and you've got a biscuit for the two of them.
I didn't realize that we had 3.
No, I love it.
And you can divide that up, of course.
Yes,
and
maybe.
This is a cookie. Lexi Liu is a party planner and does some wonderful different
things. Thank you very much. Hey, you've been brilliant. Love having you on the program, and all the very best on your return to Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. It's warmer there.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Thank you very much.